Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request for Edward. Thank you so much for that. Once again, I do apologize for the lateness of the video. I try to get these up as soon as I possibly can, but thank you guys for your patience. I really do appreciate it. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, tier list, ranking, review, re-review, thought streams, commentaries, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. Be pretty much any type of video, and thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And this is for 2 Ninja Turtle episodes. Funny enough. Why funny enough? Because I am a Ninja Turtles fan. I'm actually surprised I haven't gotten more requests for Ninja Turtle episodes, but this is for the 2012 cartoon. And before I start, this is for episode 5 and 6. 5 is called, I think his name is Baxter Stockman, 6 being Metalhead. So before I start, some thoughts on the 2012 cartoon, or just Ninja Turtles in general, because hey, for all I know, this could be the first video or second or third you've seen of me, and you don't know much about me, so what's this guy deal? What's the dealio, motherfucker? I'm a Ninja Turtles fan. Grew up with the 80s cartoon. Loved the first 2 live-action films. Not big on the third. The CGI one, I flip-flop back and forth. There's stuff I like about it. There's stuff I don't. Leo's a dick. But I like the Night Watcher stuff. Again, the fight is cool between Leo and Raph. I go back and forth. Don't like the Michael Bay produced films, hate Mutant Mayhem, did not see the Mutant Mayhem cartoon, have not seen much of Rise of TMNT. The few bits I saw, I went, I don't know. Love the 2003 cartoon. It's my favorite cartoon and one of my favorite incarnations of the Ninja Turtles. Was sad that it ended, but really liked Turtles Forever. Thought that was a nice send-off. Nickelodeon bought the product, the characters, and this is one of the first things they did with it. When I first saw the designs, I went, man, why they look like, they really do look like kids. I know it's supposed to be teenagers, of course, but God, they really kidify them down, didn't they? Of course, this is before doing them even more so in Mutant Mayhem. I'm like, God, they really do seem a lot more like kids, and it's going back to the more goofy, comedic route of the 80s cartoon. And the 80s cartoons definitely felt more in this show. While the 2003 cartoon I liked, that was a little bit more darker, was a little bit more like the comic books. And yeah, there's still kid stuff, comedic stuff in there. As much as I love the show, yeah, there are flaws. I mean, I don't like the music on the show, or the theme. I think the music is terrible. But I really liked the direction they were going with, and the fact that that got kind of pushed back from then on, especially TV cartoon-wise, is too bad. Because this, Rise in TMNT, the few bits I saw, Mutant Mayhem, is just like more and more comedic, more and more kidified, more and more of that nature. Now, I did watch back to, well, this has been years and years now. I did watch, I think, the first 3 or 4 seasons of the show. Can't remember much about them, so honestly, watching these would be like watching them for the first time. I do remember thinking that the first season and a half or so, I actually didn't mind. The designs grew on me for the characters. The voices, for the most part, grew on me. There were some funny bits between Raph and Mighty, which I appreciated. That seemed like they had a little bit of a bond. Decent amount of moments. Not so much later on in the show, but like earlier on it did, in a few bits here and there, which I liked. Because those are my 2 favorite characters. I can say the music is better than the music in the 2003 cartoon, for those who think I can't be fair. And there's some pretty decent animation in terms of some action sequences. Some will have wide shots where the turtles are flipping over and grabbing certain things, certain action pieces that could be fairly well done animation style wise. And there's some cute stuff like Leonardo being a fan of this show called Space Heroes that is clearly, it looks the Star Trek cartoon from back in the day, which I'm a fan of, where they actually had William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and that cast doing the voices. I do like that cartoon quite a bit. I have it on DVD over there. And you tell these designs, like, that looks like Captain Kirk from that show, but of course the voices are different, the characters are different, but you tell that the face, like, the captain is clearly Captain Kirk's face, almost to a point like, how'd they get away without being sued? But it's meant to be Star Trek, but it can't, so Space Heroes. I thought it was cute. And I think Jason Biggs does a good job as Leo. I would actually say he was my favorite voice in the show. I thought the guy, I forget his name, who played Mighty, he was also on Teen Titans as Beast Boy. He grew on me. Wasn't really sure about his catchphrase, Booyakasha and stuff, but his voice grew on me. They definitely make him a lot dumber of a Mighty. A lot more idiotic, imbecilic as a Mighty, I will say. I mean, they make him, at times, a pretty big moron. But there's some sweetness to the character a lot of the times, and I can appreciate that. I just kind of similar how people view Beast Boy. I've seen bits of Teen Titans, but not enough to form. I didn't mind what I saw. I'm more of a Ninja Turtles guy, though. Rob Paulsen, it took a bit to get used to, because anytime I hear his voice, I just hear Raphael from the 80s cartoon, because that's who he was. I think really it's just what they do with his character that I'm annoyed by. And Raphael, I mean, he's my favorite character. Sean Astin, I know a lot of people love his portrayal as Raphael. I never cared for it. I just don't think Sean Astin works. Maybe just anytime I hear him, I think of, Encino Man, Toy Soldiers, all these other films he's been in. And I just hate the portrayal of Raph in this. I think it's fine for the most part for the first season or so, but like the more that happens, the more it just bothers the fuck out of me. And I know I'll get to the episodes, I swear. I'm just getting it out of there. The reason I had issues with the show was a lot of times it kept trying to not pray, but it really wanted you to remember the 80s cartoon. I mean, the theme song is a version of the theme song from the 80s cartoon. This bit, Mighty does this, and he looks like the Mighty from the 80s cartoon. One point, I think in one of these episodes, one of his phone rings, I think Mighty's phone rings, I forget which one, and you hear he's shut it off. It's the Metalhead one. No, it's Baxter Stockman is the bat because he's got this T-pod, this iPod. He takes it off and he hums the Ninja Turtles theme from the 80s cartoon. It's just a lot of references, and it's like you can't, can you stand on your own 2 feet? At least the 2003 OT is referencing the comics, but this is at least a different form. It's not another animated form. Like, I don't know. There was stuff that it did differently that I didn't mind, like Karai being Splinter's daughter, because here Splinter used to be a human like he was in the 80s cartoon. But Karai being his daughter, I didn't mind that idea. But then she's been raised by the Shredder. I'm like, okay, that could create some drama. Because in the comic book, in the 1990 movie, it was a rat, save the 2003 cartoon, that then became Splinter. While the 80s in this cartoon, he was a human that became Splinter. I just didn't care for a lot of the villains in this show. Like Baxter Stockman, I think there's a very lame version of Stockman I'll get into. And I didn't mind these episodes. Like, these episodes are fine. These episodes are fine for what they are. But like a lot of the villains I didn't care about, and we're going back to now like. Granted, not all the villains in 2003 cartoon was great. I mean, Garbage Man, it's like whatever. What they were going to do with them would have been interesting, but it was banned because it was going to be like him. And, was it him and Hun? Like they were conjoined and they were like cut apart. There's going to be some pretty crazy stuff, but they banned it. They wouldn't allow them to do it. But I like that they had that idea in mind. Ballsy. See, I appreciate that. I appreciate trying to go in that direction. It's just they weren't allowed because of the ratings and stuff. The as in the oh shut up, cat. He always whines to go outside in the porch, then wants to whine to go back inside after 5 minutes. Anyway, so sorry about that. But yeah, the issue I have is it was around the time when Leo gets hurt and they gotta go to the farmhouse and they man. Leo's Jason Biggs, I guess, tweeted some stuff he wasn't supposed to. He was acting a bit of a dumbass. So they fired him. They shit canned him. They got who was it? They got not Seth Rogen, Seth Green. Horrible Leo. One of the worst voices for Leo. Seth Green did not fit that at all. And they say, oh, your voice has been screwed up, so that's why he sounds like Seth Green. Terrible choice. I like Seth Green, but he's not a good Leo. So right there, the character's affected to me because Seth Green doesn't fit. I'm sorry. And the stories, it was more and more about references. Oh, let's reference Jason Voorhees in this episode. Let's reference Nightmare on Elm Street in this episode. Let's have the final episode of the show reference Mad Max Fury Road. Or the portrayals, like more and more of April being this psychic, superpowered lady. Having psychic powers. Casey Jones kind of seemed like a pussy. Raph, he became more and more of a pussy as it went on. One episode, apparently, you find out that he used to wear, I swear to God, that he used to wear a princess dress back in the day. I swear to God that was a thing that they said. And one, they were in an area where they had to ride horses, but Raph was afraid of horses. Yeah, he's not good with bugs. That was in the 2008 cartoon. So what he did is he beat the shit out of him. Here, he runs away, even though his baby brother's in danger. He still runs away like a pussy. Leo's been in a coma for how many months? Raph gets turned to a fucking flower. About the same day that Leo gets out of a coma, he's able to defeat this fucking thing. Raph couldn't do it because he turned to a fucking flower. It makes sense because he's a fucking pussy. But Leo, just out of a coma, probably standing on one leg to defeat the fucking thing. What the fuck is it? And like every Raph episode was like, he fucked something up, so you gotta fix it. That shit's just bothered the fuck out of me. I don't know it tried to be serious later on. Spoilers. Splinter gets killed, and they try to fight the Shredder and all this other stuff, but it's like kind of hard to put this in the show where at the same time Mighty fought a pizza monster in one episode. And even with these two episodes, like Splinter at times seemed like an asshole. I was never big on this Splinter. Sometimes sometimes he's okay, and sometimes he just acts like a fucking asshole. April O'Neil always seemed like a stuck-up tool. Donnie at times seems like a creep, always, wanting to get into April's pants, where he kind of adds like stalker mentality. Like Metalhead, to jump to that real quick, he doesn't want to use his bow because he thinks his bow sucks, so he creates this Metalhead creation. I'm going to sit here at home and you don't go out there, and this Metalhead will join in my place. So he's standing over a ledge next to April, and he keeps staring at her. He keeps staring at her, and he focuses on her. And it's like, oh, she's such a beautiful lady, and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, that's not muted. Oh, well, good thing I was just kidding. Like, he keeps doing that shit, or at least he did for a while. And then April was a fucking misleading, misbehaving tool bitch, Amber Heard bitch, because she kept bleeding him on, despite this potential predatory behavior. Because there's a fucking moment where she fucking kisses him on the cheek. I forget. I think it was during that farmhouse thing. It was that art that really killed it for me. The whole farmhouse thing. Hey, did this Robert Englund as a dream beaver? Did it? He's a dream beaver? Robert Englund? Nightmare on Elm Street? So he tries to hurt you in your dreams. What is this shit? And then April's like, ooh, I'll go kiss Donnie on the cheek. And he's floating on cloud 9. Yeah, that's going to fucking lead him into thinking you want to get in his shell. Because he has no pants. Either tell him, let him down, or stop leading him on, you fucking bitch. And they're not going to do anything with it, because it's a fucking turtle and a human. They don't get together. They don't do that on a fucking cartoon for Nickelodeon. So what the fuck is the point of all this? Him being creepy, but then she fucking kisses him on the cheek one time to lead him on? Where's this leading to? It didn't lead anywhere, so what's the fucking point? I know I'm 60 minutes and I haven't talked about the fucking episodes. I know. But yeah, I'm giving Edward a little bit extra because he had to wait for the request, so there you go. Episode 5, the introduction of Baxter Stockman, voiced by Phil LaMarr. Phil LaMarr is a good voice actor. He was Samurai Jack, Status Shock, among others. I do think this Baxter Stockman is really lame. Like, really, he's not this big scientist with these mousers. He's not working for the Shredder. He's not doing anything. It's just, he's a guy that got fired. The people laugh and mock at him, thinking he's a loser. Where we first see him having this power armor that looks like shit, barely could get through a door, and the turtles beat him up in 5 seconds and dump him in the trash. Because the episode is Splinter's meditating, he hears a bunch of noise, Mikey wants to jump over his 3 brothers with this skate ramp. Splinter's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're grounded for a week. Which again, Splinter just seems like a fucking asshole. There are times where there's some maneuver and it just results in him beating the shit out of all 4 of them. And literally at the end, it's pretty much him threatening to beat the shit out of 4 of them again. What a great father figure. But you don't do it, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Like, you just look at it almost like an abusive nature with this Splinter. Anyway, Donnie, like, you see a fight scene. Actually, no, that's the next one. Donnie has this microchip, AI microchip, puts it, and what's he going to do with this microchip? That's AI? Puts it in a music player, because I'm like, really? Of all the things you could test this thing on, a music player is your first idea, Donnie? Okay. So he puts it in, Mikey names it the teapot, he's listening to it, he's freaked out, there's polka music on it, which I don't blame him, I would be freaked out too, that he does, and does this dance that at first second I thought, is that the Napoleon Dynamite dance? It looked close, but I don't think it is. But even though they're grounded, Raph says we should go out and go skateboarding, and Leo's like, no. Okay, well, as your leader, I'm going to go with you. So, to lead you away from bad stuff? Like Leo, I thought Jason Biggs, he had a certain innocence as Leo, where he's the leader, but he's not a dick, he's not a douchebag. He's trying to be decent to his brothers, he's trying to deal with his brothers. It's a tough role to play. Because if you go too far, he's a stuck-up prick. If you go too much, if you go too little, he's bland. If you go too much, he's stuck up in an asshole. So he's still likable. He's still got a charm, but he's still got to be a leader. But he has doubts. But he's still trying to be affable. And then, like, his love for the Space Hero show, it brings a bit of light and personality to the Leonardo character. And actually, when Jason Biggs was voiced him, I thought it was actually one of the better parts of the show. They're going through the rooftops. Leo slips, hits a beehive, which will be used later on. They go on skating. They see Baxter Stockman. They beat him up quickly. They dump him in the trash. They go back home, and Mighty lost the T-Pod. Stockman finds it, puts it in his armor. It gets upgraded. Leo's watching Space Heroes. They see Stockman on the news. They realize what Mighty did. Again, Mighty has this affable innocence to him that kind of fun to see. I do think Zero, I can't remember his name. He, again, the more I saw, the more he played Mighty fairly well. It's just, again, there are times they make him a bit too dumb. Bit too stupid at times. They fight Stockman. They lose the second time. They go back to Splinter. They tell what happened. Splinter pretty much gets pissed at them, but also says about, it gives them a little bit of speech. They go back. And, decent bits of action, some nice camera angles, wide shots where Mighty's running from the missiles and jumps off a wall and grabs onto someone with his nunchuck. Little nice choreography. Maybe that's a better way to put it. It's a diversion from Mighty to get the beehive put in Stockman's face. They both get their hits on Stockman. They get the T-Pod thing off, and they dump him in the trash again. And Stockman's just a loser who got fired from his job. Just literally a bit where he's terrorizing this place. Is that Stockman? I told you that copy machine or whatever, or fax machine, whatever is, it was broken when I got there. Like, that's all Stockman is. Just a loser who got fired. And I'm sitting there going, really? Like, that's it, really? Just seemed like a lot more could have been done with Stockman. I'm sure he's in the show throughout, but just not much to this version of Stockman. At least for a first impression. I'm trying to think. Sorry, I want to check a little quick. Yeah, Scott Williams, I thought, brought a bit more to Stockman in the 2003 cartoon. But Fillmore, I mean, he's a good voice actor, just didn't have much to play with. I mean, I would say this episode, it was there. I didn't mind some of the stuff with Leo and the Space Hero stuff, because there's like 2 times he watches the show. The action stuff in the end, I didn't mind. A few of Mighty's antics were kind of funny. To be fair, Raph has a funny line or two where Leo talking about, yeah, be stealthy, and this is before he hit the beehive and fell. And Raph goes, that wasn't really stealthy, Leo. I hate this motif they do with the animation, though, that if they have like a spit, it looks like a spoon. Usually it's like if they're like, whoa, or they're excited, or they get hit, or something happens, or they're out of it. They'll do like this look, and then it's supposed to be spit, but it looks like a damn white spoon. I hate that. I don't know what that motif... That was an annoying motif to me that they repeat a lot throughout the show. Metalhead, I didn't mind for what it was. I thought it was fine. The fight in the train, decent action beginning. Raph destroys a couple of them. Mikey and Leo got their hits in, showing Donnie's frustration. He's tired of just using a bow. They're able to get out of there. They take one of the train droids. To this point, the train is not train from the 80s cartoon. It's these droids where there's multiple alien brains. They get in, and I hate the way they talk. It's the one with the one and the thing, and then the thing and the one. Like, they have these sentences that go on way too long to describe things in such a weird manner. That's like a running gag. I always thought that was irritating. But Donnie brings one home. The remains of the mechanics. He fixes it up and he wants a new weapon. Splinter approves of it, so he makes a new weapon. It's Metalhead. There's some decent bits of animation, like when Leo ricochets a ninja star and you follow it to hit this thing that then pushes this weapon out of the way that helps him out at the beginning of the episode. Metalhead, the design, it's like the classic design of Metalhead. Able to beat the other three turtles, which makes sense because, of course, you know what's going to happen to this thing. It's going to screw up and they're going to have to fight it later. It's a lot of plots of them fixing their own mistakes. That's something that's a very common theme, at least in the early parts of the show, is one of the turtles did something screwed up, or they all did something screwed up and they gotta fix their mistake. Like Raph let this guy take a picture of him, so the turtles say you're a liability, because now this guy's turned to a mutant called snakeweed, and then Raph has to go fix his mistake and help his brothers. Even in episode 5, Mikey screwed up and left the T-Pod, so now they gotta go fix their mistake. Here, Donnie trusted this Metalhead too much, and a battle gets screwed up, a crane takes it over, starts fighting his brothers. Donnie's gotta go and fix his mistake. Again, a lot of, like, we gotta fix our own mistakes. It's like a common plot thing they used a lot in these episodes. I would say a bit too much. And this is where you gotta see more of the creepo Donnie. Oh, I got goosebumps. You want to feel them, April? No. Like, hey, April, you want to feel my goosebumps? Or again, as Metalhead keeps looking, and she's like, she knows, but she doesn't say anything. And he's like, keeps looking, and the Metalhead gear again says that thing about, oh, she's so beautiful. That's not muted. Oh, yeah, I was just kidding. Why don't you fucking tell him? And April just always seems like a stuck-up bitch. I don't know, she just always seems stuck up. I never found any warmth to the character. I never saw any warmth to the character, any jovial personality to the character. I didn't see much lightheartedness to the character. Kind of stone-faced, bitchy, and then she gets psychic powers later on. Just something about her being part crane or what the fuck. I'm like, okay. Again, there's differences I like Karai being Splinter's daughter, that's fine. There's other differences I don't like that. I think that's... We can't make her useless. Well, she wouldn't be useless. I don't think April in the 2003 cartoon was useless. But I still felt a warmth and personality to her. I felt a warmth to her when she talked to the turtles or her bits with Casey. Don't feel that with this. But I like the action scenes. You know, they fight the crane at the end. Donnie comes in to help. Metalhead's now screwed up. Uses the structure to topple over Metalhead and uses his bow so it falls and I know the pressure, but it still would. That's why that was a bit confusing. I get that it's the pressure of all this stuff hidden Metalhead, but it's still metal and this is still wood. Is wood going to go through metal? I guess the idea is, yeah, I guess so. I guess it could go through armor and other places, so I guess so. But I like the choreography, I didn't mind that. The ending was kind of cute, where Donnie and Splinter are talking, and they have a story play in the background, where Raph is on a video game and Leo's messing with him. So Raph starts fighting, grabbing Leo, and Mikey's trying to stop him. I thought that was kind of funny, like goofy family moments as brothers. I thought that was cute. I thought it was funny. Donnie says gentleman and Raphael, and Raph gives a dirty look. So yeah, I think some of the action is fun. I think some nice little character moments, like I mentioned. But yeah, Donnie being this creepo weirdo to April, and then April being so bitchy and uptight, and again, I don't feel any warmth to the character. I don't feel any. Just gets a bit annoying. I don't know. And then it's like, well, what's the point of all this? You're not going to do anything with it. You were never going to do anything with it. So what's the fucking point? And I also apparently, originally, that's supposed to be Raphael having a crush on April. Okay. I don't know how that would play out. Probably the same fucking thing. So it would have made him not only a wimp, but a creepo. So there you go. I mean, again, these two episodes, despite my critiques, they were fine to watch. They were easy to watch. It's just one of those things where it's just stuff that reminds me of stuff that I have issues with on the show. But again, the Baxter Stockman one, it was passable. It was fine. Metalhead one, I thought was okay, decent. I don't know if everyone will request more. It'd be interesting to go through the series, but I don't know if he'll do that. Whatever, if you wish, Edward, whatever you want to do, you've been very kind. Really appreciate your kindness. Hopefully, the video sufficed, and thank you for your generosity. I appreciate it, Edward. Thank you. That's why I only want to do a little bit more in depth, because least I could do. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.